All right, today we're going to talk about the Adam's apple and examine some forensic evidence and examine some photographic forensic evidence as to the sex of these specimens. Adam's apple, why women don't have it. Adam, of course, the first man. Some people believe he was androgynous, containing both male and female. I think there's a reason we call it an Adam's apple and not an Eve's apple. Yeah, see, women don't usually have an Adam's apple unless you stick an apple in front of their neck. There's a smiley virus, got the red lipstick, but that does not make this person a real female. We have an Adam's apple right there. And if you're a man, you can feel the two lumps in your throat, and you can usually see it as well. It's exactly what this person has. Females do not have necks like this. Look around you in the real world. There are still plenty of real men and real women in the real world. Don't be distracted by the controlled opposition who would try to muddy the waters. What I'm talking about are the so-called elite, the Freemasons, the celebrities, politicians, and the billionaires. They practice ritual androgyny. Most of us don't, but they're trying to change that. Oh, there's Holy Angel with the Adam's apple. And you can see the skull as well. Has all kinds of male features, including the mandible, the brow ridge, the jaw. It does have lipstick again and some makeup and some long hair. That does not make this person a biological female. Remember that in theater, the women's roles have always been played by men, and they still are. As this person knows very well, the two lumps. We should almost call it Adam's apples. And again, they like to do the smile. See, when they smile a lot like that, it kind of, it affects us emotionally, and then our brain shuts off, and we just think, oh, look, happy people. We like that. Don't question the happy people. Don't question anyone who's smiling, because you might ruin it. See, we just want to be happy, and we want to look at people who are happy. Don't try to ruin the happy moment by overanalyzing the bone structure of the transvestite. People need lots of makeup, and they do lots of smiling. So the smile kind of is a disguise. So we cannot really see what they really look like if they do these fake smiles all the time. And now I've met some celebrities in real life, but not too many actors and actresses. Maybe a couple of actors, but actresses, maybe one or two. But they're very elusive people. You don't really run into the actresses that much. You run into some musicians and some male, supposedly male actors. They're usually about 5 feet tall for some reason. Again, tons of makeup. So you can't always see it so prominently, but you can kind of see it's there. Yeah, look at that jaw. Just a rugged jaw. This is a rugged individualist. Yeah, and now we're talking almost, looks kind of like an alien, right? So at some point they all start to look a little bit too plastic, almost like robots, like aliens, like something non-human, because this is not a human female. It is certainly not a human female. It's probably a human male. It's a transvestite. But what's going on inside their head, living a lie like this? They seem to enjoy it. But I think it's their religion. They believe they are androgynous angels. Speaking of the T virus, there's the resident transvestite. See, sometimes it just looks like a prominent trachea overall. But again, we see the mouth. We got the pentagram. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Oh, Megan Fox. Now we're going to examine this specimen a little bit. I mean, this is out of control. What happened there? That almost looks like something, there was some kind of accident. But we do see the two lumps, like we always do. Very nice makeup job done by professionals. All right, this person didn't just wake up and walk out of the house. You know what I'm saying? This person went to see a whole team of specialists to apply an illusion, including the hair, makeup, nose job, nice small, symmetrical nose. This person was not born with that nose. That's a fake nose, artificially constructed. Hair covers up the shoulders, at least one of them. There it is again. Actually has a pretty rugged jaw as well, but everything else is feminized. When it was a young man, see, if you just kind of ignore all the, look at the eyelashes and all that stuff, it's just like a mask. It's a disguise. And sometimes they put little things there to kind of keep that Adam's apple in. And now look at how much work has been done on the face. This is not an old lady trying to look young. This is a young woman, supposedly. Why would they destroy their face with all this stuff? Botox, cheek filler, whatever, to look like a plastic robot. They're starting to look like those sex dolls they sell now. See, the nose is such an illusion. And one thing you'll notice is the nose, they can make the nose smaller, but it's very hard for them to eliminate the jaw bones entirely. So they still end up with the kind of more rugged, masculine-looking jaw that they usually cannot entirely get rid of. But they make the nose nice and small and feminine, and they smooth out the face, get rid of all the hair. But what happens is the nose usually looks a little too small for the face. Yeah. And just look at how this person's getting facelifts, right? Like a young lady getting all these facelifts. Why? Starting to look like a robot. Plastic love doll. And this is just someone else. I don't know who this is, some transgendered model, openly transgendered, so they look like this now, but it used to look like this. It is an example of how differently people can look with the right people working on it. They're like a race car, and they got a whole team of people working on them. There's Megan Fox as a young boy with lipstick on. They are raised from birth as the opposite sex. All right, that's just like a Jewish boy is circumcised on the 8th day. These people are raised as the opposite sex from birth. It's pretty wacky stuff. I mean, they basically grew up as a little girl, but so I suppose their parents pull them aside at some point and say, "Hey, by the way, we are the elite. We are the androgynous angels. We are temporarily here on Earth with all the humans who are our slaves, and we must deceive them." You know what I mean? They're somehow it all makes sense in their mind. Now there's, that movie Transformers, right? Come on, Transformers, right? What do you think that movie's about? And it ends with the male and female lead characters kind of intertwined on the hood of a car. And the actor said that at the end of that movie, our two characters became one. They united, not in marriage, but in androgyny. So here's a video clip. You've probably seen this before.
From a hot man to one of the hottest women in the business right now, Megan Fox with me now. Why do you shake your head?
Because I'm pretty sure I'm a doppelganger for Alan Alda.
Oh, get out of here.
I'm a tranny. I'm a man.
Here.
I'm a tranny. I'm a man. I'm a tranny.
The broadcaster says, from a man to a woman, it's Megan Fox. Sometimes you got to listen closely. You got to observe. Things are not what they appear. There it is again. Fake boobs, right? Lots of sexual energy coming out of that one. Now we go to Never Mind the Bullocks, castrated bull with the Adam's apple again. This one admitted on a talk show, first job he ever had in show business was working on stage in a drag bar, a drag show, all right? Come on, what kind of people work in drag shows? drag queens, right? Transvestite. This person admitted on national television that it's a transvestite because they don't hire real women to work in a drag show, a cabaret. Oh, look at that. And then it played in that movie, I think it's called Miss Congeniality or something. It basically plays a transvestite. Come on. I mean, wake up, man. Wake up. This is like old news, man. But I have to go back to the basics because now I'm making videos on a new platform and there's different people watching who they just think you're crazy unless you back it up there. So I just want to put some of these videos out there. Ann Coulter, of course, controlled opposition transvestites. There's lots of them. Fox News has lots of them. Queen from the V miniseries, The Alien. Now this one seems, well, there it is, the two lumps again, but mainly you kind of see one. You don't always see it that prominent. Sometimes the Adam's apple kind of does end up going back, even on men, regular men, it goes up into the throat temporarily. But again, we see the nose job, right? The little tiny nose. And this person's probably from the ancient Near Eastern bloodlines, maybe Egyptian or Sumerian, Babylonian, whatever, who knows? But it's, looks, the face looks incredibly feminine, I think, that face. But it could also look, it's not masculine, but not every man actually looks that masculine, if you think about it. Yeah, there it is there, in case you missed it. Oh, now that's, royal families generally practice this around the world, all right? Come on, look at the masculine face there, man. Don't be fooled by the hair. This one could use a bit more makeup because that's, and I don't know, is there a way to make their teeth a little smaller? That might help as well. This one is just so incredibly masculine. People don't even realize it because I think the brainwashed masses have been conditioned to kind of look on these Amazonian-type female figures with respect. Oh, she's not a female. She's not a normal female. She's a very masculine female. That's a good thing. It's a man. It's a transvestite. All right. Come on. Look at that. Makeup. It's a secret. It's a secret. All right. Now, I don't even know who this is, actually, but it has an Adam's apple. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Again, it's the nose. It's the lipstick. It's the smoothed out face. No facial hair. They get shots like every week, estrogen shots. These people get injected with needles all the time, and now they want to start injecting us with needles. Gee, what do you think they're trying to do? There you go, right there. Now, even Michael Obama doesn't have a huge Adam's apple, but if you look closely, you see it a little bit. There is such thing as tracheal shave. They can try to make that smaller. So sometimes the Adam's apple isn't all that prominent, even on a transvestite, and that's why you have to look at all the different bone structure as a package. See, they do these faces, but yeah, distracts us from the little Adam's apple there. Yeah, if you look closely, there it is right there. Again, with the see, they publish these photos, right? I mean, yeah, we all make kind of different faces throughout the day, but these are photos deliberately published. And again, not a hugely masculine person, but shoulders wider than the hips, as we talked about before. There it is right there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Massive jaw. Feminine, tiny little nose. Tiny little nose, too small for that face. Smoothed out cheeks. A dress. Trying to make the shoulders look more narrow. They are very aware of their posture, and they're always trying to conceal things. Oh, it's a Spice Boy. A little bit of trachea action going on there, but overall, it looks like a Filipino transvestite to me. All right. Oh, there's a mass media. This is one of those, I think, you guys know who that is. I forget these people's names. This one is pretty obvious. I could do a whole video. I just don't feel like it right now. But, it's one of these publisher types, Fashion World, all that kind of stuff. Come on, it's a transvestite. Oh, there's Bruce Jenner with the Adam's apple. Yeah, even he's got the small little nose now, running for governor. Now, this one's an interesting case study because I guess, this was really the big propaganda started with this guy here, right? Now, the voice is pretty annoying, and I think that's intentional. So this one is like openly an open transvestite and a Republican, which is pretty hilarious if you think about it. Republican. So yeah, 2013, I guess that's when this whole thing started, right? It might even become the next governor of California. Who knows? But, and that one has a connection to O.J. Simpson's so-called wife, which is obviously a man. This is Nicole Simpson. That whole thing was some kind of fake psyop, the whole thing. We're all Truman living in the Truman Show, if you haven't figured that out yet. Everything is fake. Everything is fake, especially if it comes from the mass media. They give us heroes and villains. They give us drama. They give us transvestites. And there's Courtney Cox, last name Cox. Some trachea action. Got the dog collar, try to keep it all in, but you got the shoulders there. Plastic surgery all over the place. Yeah, see, a lot of them don't age too well. They got to just keep putting in the Botox, the lip filler. There's the trachea. And then they start looking like this. And you don't know what you're looking at. See, it covers up the fact that these are transvestites. And then you think, well, it's just an aging celebrity trying to look young and beautiful. And they end up looking like Glenn Close or something like that. Glenn is a male first name. So is Elliot, by the way, Elliot Page. A lot of them just have male first names, and we don't even notice because they're celebrities, And a lot of them have male first names as their last names, and some of them just have the word Cox as their last name, in case you didn't get it. Now, here's Amy Adams. Since we're talking about the Adam's apple, I thought I'd put Amy Adams in there, who has a very feminine-looking face, but it looks boyish, right? This is actually looks like a young boy. Amy Adams, Adam. That one here, see, this is Time Magazine, 2017, Beyond He or She, New Generation, Redefining the Meaning of Gender. And I don't know who this is. This is Marie, 26, identifies as queer and gender nonconforming. Wow, isn't that special? Isn't that special? You better put this person on the cover of Time Magazine, Chronos. See, this one, if this one got a slightly smaller nose job here, it would look a lot like Amy Adams, right? See, they all kind of start looking the same after a while because they all do the same procedures. So we got the Adam with Amy Adams, and now we got the apple with Tim Cook, who I haven't mentioned this too much before, but he has a very strange-looking Adam's apple. I wonder, is that even a real one? Apple, right? I mean, it's kind of like an inside joke. He's the CEO of Apple. He has a huge Adam's apple, but a very feminine-looking face. I kind of suspect this guy's a FTM, but what's his character? His character is gay, right? He's a gay CEO of one of the biggest companies in the world with a huge Adam's apple, working at a company called Apple. I don't know, man. Something could be going on there. Could be an FTM. He's on the FTM suspect list. And finally, I came across this just yesterday. I was studying Greek. I came across this word, arsenokoitos, means homosexual. But there's this other word here, arsenothelos, which means hermaphrodite. Hermes, Aphrodite, hermaphrodite. This word here is used in the Bible, by the way, to talk about homosexuals. But this word here is used in ancient Greek to talk about transvestites. And right here, so Attis, you guys know about this, a castrated Attis. He was a cultic priest for the goddess cults. This was a transvestite priest in the goddess cults. So all these pagan religions who worship the gods and the goddesses, they had transvestites. They'd castrate themselves and they'd dress like women. And these people were looked down as being kind of like demigods. They were like gateways to the spirit world, spirit mediums. There were prophets, prostitutes, singers, dancers, actors, entertainers. Some people say the Statue of Liberty is a reference to castrated Attis. Attis has been emasculated. that is, has moved from the earthly elements of the world below, which we are the world below heaven. Okay, so that's talking about the world we live in is considered the world below. Below what? Below heaven. Attis has been emasculated, that is, has moved from the earthly elements of the world below to the eternal substance above, where the Nicene says, there is neither male nor female, but a new creation, a new human being, that is, a hermaphrodite. So that's what they're doing. And this is, by the way, this new human being is what they call the new Adam, the Adam Kadmon of the Kabbalah, Adam Kadmon, the original androgynous Adam. Anyway, this is their religion. This is what they believe. So talked about the Adam's apple, talked about Amy Adams, we talked about Apple Corporation, and we talked about androgynous Adam. So we live in a world of deception. We're all Truman, living in the Truman Show. And I guess, do with this information what you want. And the truth kind of pisses people off. What's the point of trying to wake people up anymore, really? People are blind. Maybe this is just a big test or something. The hour is getting late. Oh, no. A song reference. That means I got to pull out the guitar, doesn't it? I don't know the lyrics to this, but...